The investigations into the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump are intensifying tonight. The former president was injured last night when a gunman opened fire at his campaign rally in Pennsylvania. A bullet pierced the upper part of his ear. 2 people, including the suspected shooter, were killed and 2 others were injured. Tonight, we are learning more about the gunman as well as the victims of the attack. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest from Butler, Pennsylvania.
His face bloody, fist raised.
Let me get my shoes on.
Former President Trump rushed from the stage after an assassination attempt. Chaos and panic. Now, a full day later, giving way to prayers and calls for unity. Mr. Trump writing on social media, "In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united and show our true character as Americans." A message echoed by President Biden.
You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that.
The former president traveling to Milwaukee this afternoon ahead of the Republican National Convention as dual investigations intensify. The FBI focused on the alleged shooter, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. Agents saying he was armed with a semi-automatic rifle registered to his father and that explosive materials have been identified inside his car and home. While Homeland Security agents tried to determine how it could have happened, how a rooftop less than 150 yards from the rally was left open and accessible.
Coverage of this building and the roof was built in to the overall security plan, and coverage fell through the cracks, which means nobody ensured that coverage was actually in place, or it wasn't built into the overall plan at all.
We're also learning more about a firefighter in the crowd, Corey Comparator, killed in the crossfire. A husband and father of 2 young girls.
Corey died a hero. That Corey dove on his family to protect them last night.
2 others in the crowd were wounded and remain in the hospital tonight, their conditions upgraded from critical to stable. Jay Gray.
And that was Jay Gray reporting. Now let's turn to 3 News reporter Giovanni Ligi. He joins us live from outside the fairgrounds tonight. Giovanni, you've been there this entire afternoon. What is it like there tonight?
Well, this community really just has such a strong sense of pride. You'll see American flag after American flag on homes and even on the highways headed into this small town. And here at the fairgrounds, investigators have this entire area still sectioned off as they try and figure out how an assassination attempt could have happened here. On the outskirts of the Butler County Fairgrounds, just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Everybody was all excited. Oh, come on, it's a Trump rally. Oh, yeah, the mood was light, happy.
Police cars and crime scene tape surround an area where law enforcement officials now say 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks crawled onto a nearby roof and fired multiple shots at former President Trump, hitting multiple people.
When he was down on the ground, I was really like, oh my God, oh my God.
Robert Corbett said he was sitting behind the former president when just minutes after the campaign rally started, he began to hear gunfire. He tells me he ducked for cover with his family.
I knew then it was the real deal when the snipers on the roof to the right side of Trump behind him, they opened up rapidly 3 fast shots.
And those 3 fast shots, he said, were followed by the sounds of screams. All of those chaotic moments playing out in just mere seconds. Corbett said he rushed out of the fairgrounds with his wife.
I found out more what was going on when I got home because it was all on film, the media.
Corbett tells me this is a small town, but even more a tight community. A former local fire chief and father, Corey Comparator, killed.
It's a shame.
And what police say is being investigated as an attempted assassination and an act of domestic terrorism, all while a motive is still unknown.
It's just amazing that area wasn't secure.
And tonight, really just an eerie feeling as you hear the sounds of the police tape blowing in the winds and see the lights of police cars really block off so many different roads in this area. Once again, still so many questions as investigators try and piece together what happened here. We're live tonight. Giovanni Ligi, 3 News.
All right, Giovanni, we appreciate it. Live from Butler, Pennsylvania. Thank you. Now let's have a little more about the shooting suspect, 20-year-old Matthew Crooks. He is from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, about an hour south of the scene of the shooting. This afternoon, bomb-making materials were found inside his vehicle and also at his home. His political leanings are not clear. He is registered as a Republican voter, but he also donated a small amount of money to a Democratic political action committee. Federal agents are now trying to find out how and when he got the AR-style rifle that was found at the scene. And earlier this evening, President Biden addressed the country from the Oval Office.
Politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace.
President Biden called for a full investigation and a review of the shooting last night. Ohio's Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown issued a similar statement today. He posted it on social media saying, in part, there must be a investigation into the assassination attempt against former President Trump. We must get to the bottom of this so it never happens again. Meanwhile, Ohio's Republican Senator J.D. Vance today retweeted Donald Trump's post on social media, writing, quote, courageous, united, and defiant. This is leadership. Just yesterday, Vance blamed the shooting on President Biden and his campaign's rhetoric. And this just into the newsroom. New video tonight outside of Senator Vance's home in Cincinnati, where Ohio State Highway Patrol officers and ATF agents are providing extra security following the attack on former President Trump. Vance is considered a top contender to become his running mate. New tonight, the United States Secret Service says it is making no changes to its security plan for the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. At a news conference today, the Secret Service did not answer questions about the assassination attempt. However, the Secret Service did say that there are no known threats against the convention in Milwaukee or anyone attending the convention.
Planning efforts. We have accounted for various security scenarios that may arise, and we are confident in the plan we have implemented for the Republican National Convention this week. That security plan will remain in place.
Former President Trump's children, Donald Jr., Eric, and Eric's wife, Republican National Committee co-chair Laura Trump, are all scheduled to speak at the convention. We will have continuing coverage of the Trump rally shooting both on air and online. Our Dave Chudowski will be live from Pennsylvania tomorrow morning on Go. You can also check out our coverage on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Well,